Before 1920, women weren't seen as anything even close to equal to men. They were told what to wear and when to wear it. Basically, women couldn't do anything they wanted to do for themselves. For example, women couldn't get an Ivy League education, be in the military, file for rape, vote, or even run in the Boston Marathon because it was too manly.
How do you think women were treated so unfairly previous to the 19th Amendment?
Mostly because men thought they were higher than the women, and they didn't really ever give the woman a chance to show them what they could do, and yeah, they're just dumb.
Well, because men were like the head of the household, and they wanted control over all the women, and so whenever they started to get like their rights and stuff, it was just like, it was different. They finally had say in what they were going to do, and they finally had their own freedom.
How do you think women were treated so unfairly previous to the 19th Amendment?
I feel like men made most of the money in the family, and that
They're better.
they're better.
Why do you think women were treated so unfairly previous to the 19th Amendment?
Previous to the 19th Amendment, women had they had no way really of making it on their own. Either their family supported them or their husband. And so after the 19th Amendment, they were able to get a job and make money on their own, and therefore they were able to have some ability to make it without a man. And so there you have it.
Although the obstacles women had to overcome were difficult, once the 19th Amendment was passed, women gained the right to vote, creating a ripple effect, busting open the doors to change.
How do you think the right to vote changed the way women saw themselves?
It made them gain more confidence in themselves and made them feel a lot better.
Well, it gave them like a chance to finally have a say in what they wanted their country to be run like. Like, they finally got to decide how they wanted to change the world and what type of things they wanted to do. And
Do you think the right to vote changed the way women saw themselves?
They think they got more power, I guess.
But they don't.
How do you think the right to vote changed the way women saw themselves?
The right to vote changed the way women saw themselves because prior to that they were not allowed to vote, so their husbands were the only ones who got to vote. And after that, women started having sometimes a mind of their own. A lot of times the men would determine what their vote was, and they would ask them how they wanted them to vote. But as time went on, women had their own opinions and would vote privately the way they wanted to, so it did change things a little bit.
Women created their own image of themselves and rebelled against everything men believed. The flapper was born, and everything that once conflicted with women's rights was eliminated, one by one.
Good question. What's a flapper?
Good question. The flapper was the basic rebelling woman. They wore short skirts, bobbed hair, excessive makeup, started drinking, smoking, and even treating sex in a casual manner, flouting conventional standards of behavior, essentially taking on the behavior of men and showing that they can do anything men can do.
how do you think the men reacted to the women's new image?
Well, they didn't like it because they didn't have enough control over the women, but at the same time they did because they put themselves out there more.
I don't think that they honestly liked it, but at the same time they couldn't change like the way that the world was changing and everything. Like, I think that they wanted control, but at the same time they knew that it was coming to an end, that women were going to do it anyways. But at the same time, like, they were helping them with income and stuff, especially with like the Great Depression. Like, it helped our economy like come back.
The men reacted to the women's new image.
Well, I feel like they thought we had less control, but we really didn't.
What do you think the men's reaction was to the women's new image?
Actually, I think men probably liked it. I think they probably were glad that they were not totally responsible and felt that much responsibility for their well-being, and so they were okay with the flappers and the fact that women were more more independent.
How do you think this affected the way women are today?
Well, I think it makes them feel stronger than they were, and it makes them better and feel like they can do more than they could back then.
Well, I think that women now think that they can do absolutely anything. I mean, like, we have women running for president and women who are doctors. Like, they have more confidence in the things that they do, and they realize that they're not lesser than a man is. Like, they can do anything a guy can.
I think this affected the way women are today.
Well, some women think that they dress like guys. Some like prostitutes.
Agreeable.
Understandable.
How do you think this has affected the way women are today?
Well, I think that the women before us that fought for these rights, and I think they paved the way for women to be able to be more independent, which is a good thing, always, and allowed women to have more freedoms and less dependence on men, and so that's a great thing all around. And, I thank the ladies that did it.
Good question.
Do you think that women are considered equal to men today?